In a world marked by constant change and fleeting distractions, the pursuit of becoming a high-value woman transcends social validation or societal expectations. It is not merely about beauty or status. It is an inner transformation rooted in timeless philosophical principles. At its core, this journey draws upon the ancient wisdom of Stoicism, which teaches that a life of value is built through self-mastery, resilience, and the cultivation of inner peace. A high-value woman does not measure her worth by external markers such as success or appearance. Instead, she sees these as reflections of her deeper journey toward living with purpose, discipline, and authenticity. The essence of becoming such a woman lies in developing clarity of mind, emotional intelligence, and the capacity to act according to reason, not impulse. Rather than chasing approval or conforming to superficial ideals, she works to align her thoughts, habits, and actions with her highest principles. This alignment enables her to move through life with quiet confidence and unwavering composure, knowing that her true power lies not in controlling circumstances, but in mastering her response to them. The path to becoming a high-value woman requires introspection, perseverance, and the courage to confront one's limitations. It demands the shedding of old habits, comfort zones, and distractions that no longer serve a higher purpose. Through this process, she discovers a profound sense of freedom. Freedom from comparison, from the need for validation, and from the fear of failure. With this inner liberation, she unlocks the potential for meaningful relationships, success, and peace. Not through force or manipulation, but through authenticity and intention. Ultimately, becoming a high-value woman is a commitment to continuous self-growth, a recognition that there is always room for refinement. This journey is not linear nor always easy, but it is profoundly rewarding. Each small effort towards self-improvement becomes an investment in a future self that is more balanced, composed, and empowered. When a woman elevates herself in this way, she naturally attracts abundance, not by demanding it, but by embodying it. The process transforms not only how she lives, but how she engages with the world around her, creating ripples of wisdom, strength, and grace in every aspect of her existence. 1. Charisma and presence. Charisma, often mistaken for mere charm or social finesse, holds a deeper meaning when viewed through the lens of Stoic philosophy. It is not a trait reserved for the fortunate few, but a quality that any individual can cultivate through inner mastery and self-awareness. A high-value woman understands that her presence is not defined by how loudly she speaks or how boldly she performs. Instead, her charisma radiates from a quiet inner strength, an authentic energy that commands attention without demanding it. This presence is magnetic, not because it overwhelms, but because it embodies wisdom, emotional depth, and unwavering self-acceptance. At the heart of this presence is the Stoic principle of ataraxia, a serene state of mind undisturbed by external events. A high-value woman achieves this calm by cultivating self-knowledge, understanding her core values, and aligning her actions accordingly. She knows who she is, what she believes in, and how she chooses to move through life. This clarity creates an unshakable confidence, allowing her to remain poised even in the most trying circumstances. She does not allow others' judgments or fleeting opinions to disrupt her peace, for her worth is grounded within, not in external validation. Charisma, in its truest form, extends beyond mere self-composure. It involves a deep attunement to the emotions and needs of others. A high-value woman listens attentively, not only to words but to the unspoken cues that reveal the emotional undercurrents of every interaction. Her presence creates a safe space where others feel understood and valued, making her interactions meaningful and memorable. This ability to connect authentically is rare in a world consumed by distractions, and it is what makes her truly unforgettable. To cultivate such charisma, A high-value woman prioritizes self-reflection and inner alignment. She practices mindful detachment, asking herself, what in this situation is within my control? What must I release? These questions allow her to remain centered, ensuring that external pressures do not cloud her inner clarity. Her body language reflects this dignity, standing tall, making eye contact with warmth and confidence, and moving with deliberate intention. Every interaction, no matter how small, becomes an opportunity to engage meaningfully, free from the need to prove her worth. Authentic charisma is not performative. It is an expression of one's true self. When a high-value woman shows up fully in each moment, embracing who she is without pretense, she becomes a force that draws others in, not because of what she can offer them, but because of the authenticity she embodies. This inner stability and quiet strength make her presence undeniable, transforming not just the room she enters, but also the lives of those she touches. Her charisma is not a gift she flaunts, but a natural outcome of her self-mastery, a reflection of a life lived with intention, grace, and purpose. 2. Elevated beauty and style. True beauty, through the lens of ancient philosophy, is far more than a fleeting display of aesthetics. It is a reflection of the harmony between one's inner and outer self. A high-value woman knows that beauty is not about conforming to society's shifting standards, but about cultivating a personal style that mirrors her inner growth, values, and sense of purpose. Her approach to beauty is deliberate, rooted in self-respect and authenticity, rather than vanity. To her, appearance becomes an art of intentionality, where the effort she puts into her outward self symbolizes the value she places on her inner being. In Stoicism, the focus on self-mastery teaches that external appearances are never the ultimate measure of one's worth. However, how we present ourselves to the world plays a powerful role in shaping perception. Not only how others see us, but more importantly, how we see ourselves. A high-value woman understands that style and appearance are extensions of her self-discipline and emotional clarity. When she carries herself with grace and confidence, it reflects the peace and vitality she nurtures within. Her beauty radiates not from elaborate displays, but from the quiet assurance of knowing who she is and how she chooses to exist in the world. Her sense of style is not dictated by trends or the opinions of others. Instead, it is thoughtfully curated to enhance her natural essence and align with her values. She does not seek validation through luxury or extravagance, but through simplicity, elegance, and intentionality. Whether selecting timeless pieces of clothing or establishing rituals of self-care, she treats these practices as acts of reverence, reminders that she is worthy of care and attention. Her beauty routine becomes a meditative process, grounding her in the present moment and reminding her of the importance of honoring herself. Elevated beauty also requires embracing balance. A high-value woman knows that no amount of makeup or designer clothing can replace the inner glow that comes from physical well-being, emotional peace, and mental clarity. She nurtures her body with movement that honors its strength and energy, her mind with thoughts that uplift and encourage growth, and her spirit with moments of stillness and reflection. This alignment between the internal and external creates a sense of authenticity that others can feel, making her presence not only captivating but also deeply inspiring. The essence of elevated beauty lies in understanding that style is not merely for show. It is a way of being. A high-value woman walks with poise, speaks with kindness, and engages with others intentionally. Her confidence is not rooted in comparisons, but in the deep recognition of her worth, cultivated through daily acts of self-care and personal discipline. In embracing this holistic approach to beauty, she becomes more than just physically appealing. She becomes a source of inspiration, embodying grace, strength, and authenticity. This quiet radiance makes her unforgettable, for it is a beauty that transcends appearances, touching both the heart and mind of those she encounters. 3. Empathy and emotional intelligence. In a world that often equates power with external success, a high-value woman understands that true strength lies in the mastery of her emotions and the ability to connect deeply with others. Empathy and emotional intelligence form the cornerstone of this strength, allowing her to navigate relationships with wisdom and intention. Unlike superficial charm, her empathy is born from an awareness of humanity's interconnectedness, a concept known in Stoic philosophy as sympathia. This principle reminds her that each person shares the same human experience, and by understanding the emotions of others, she fosters trust, respect, and meaningful connection. However, empathy is not mere emotional indulgence. A high-value woman knows how to remain fully present with others while maintaining the boundaries necessary to protect her peace of mind. She does not allow herself to become overwhelmed by the emotions of those around her. Instead, she listens deeply, not only to the spoken words but to the silence between them, sensing unexpressed emotions and subtle shifts in energy. Through this attentive presence, she creates a safe environment where others feel seen, understood, and valued. An essential gift in a world often consumed by noise and distraction. Her emotional intelligence is reflected in her ability to respond, not react. Stoicism teaches the importance of choosing reason over impulse, and a high-value woman embodies this discipline. She has cultivated the self-awareness to recognize her triggers and manage her emotions effectively, even in moments of tension or conflict. This mastery allows her to remain calm and composed, meeting challenges with thoughtful actions rather than hasty reactions. She understands that control over her emotions gives her the power to influence situations positively and build relationships rooted in mutual respect. Balancing empathy with self-care is essential to her well-being. A high-value woman recognizes that while offering emotional support is important, it must not come at the expense of her inner peace. She sets clear boundaries, knowing that she cannot carry the burdens of others but can walk beside them with strength and compassion. This delicate balance reflects her emotional intelligence, knowing when to offer help and when to step back, ensuring that her empathy remains a gift rather than a source of exhaustion. The synergy between empathy and emotional intelligence allows her to create relationships that uplift rather than drain. Her conversations are thoughtful, her insights genuine, and her silence intentional. She understands the subtle art of knowing when to speak and when to listen, creating moments of connection that are both profound and rare. This emotional mastery makes her presence magnetic, as people are naturally drawn to her stability and wisdom. Through empathy, she reflects the strength of a well-trained mind, one that is unshaken by external events yet deeply engaged with the inner lives of those she encounters. 4. Assertive communication. Assertive communication is an essential skill for a high-value woman, a reflection of her inner clarity and respect for both herself and others. It is not about speaking loudly or dominating conversations, but about expressing one's thoughts with confidence, precision, and grace. In Stoic philosophy, mastery over oneself begins with recognizing what is within one's control, including how we communicate. A high-value woman understands that while she cannot dictate how others respond, she can control how she expresses herself, choosing words that are calm, intentional, and rooted in integrity. Her communication is marked by a careful balance between strength and empathy. Assertiveness is not aggression. It is the art of stating boundaries and expressing needs without diminishing the value of others. In challenging situations, where respect for her time or emotions is at stake, she speaks with measured calm, framing her words with clarity and respect. For example, instead of reacting emotionally to a breach of boundaries, she might say, "I understand your urgency, but I need us to find a way to respect both our time." This statement sets a boundary firmly yet respectfully, inviting mutual understanding without hostility or apology. A high-value woman does not engage in passive-aggressive behavior or emotional manipulation. Instead, she chooses assertiveness as a path to mutual respect. This approach reflects her ability to detach from the need for approval, a concept emphasized in Stoic teachings. She knows that her self-worth is not dependent on how others perceive her, but on the integrity with which she communicates. Her words are deliberate and thoughtful, aligned with her values and goals, ensuring that each conversation reflects the kind of person she strives to be. Mastering assertive communication requires continuous self-reflection. A high-value woman remains mindful of patterns such as over-explaining, seeking validation, or avoiding confrontation out of fear. She knows that these tendencies are rooted in insecurity and actively works to overcome them through practice and awareness. With time, she develops the ability to advocate for herself without guilt and to navigate conflict with composure, maintaining her boundaries without sacrificing kindness or respect. The foundation of assertive communication lies in understanding that it is not just about speaking but about listening deeply and responding intentionally. A high-value woman listens not to react but to understand, allowing her to engage in meaningful dialogue. She knows when to stand firm and when to remain silent, recognizing that silence, too, can be a powerful expression of strength. In every interaction, she communicates with purpose, ensuring that her words are an authentic reflection of her inner self. Through assertive communication, a high-value woman sends a clear message to the world. She values her voice, her time, and her boundaries. She engages with others not from a place of fear or insecurity, but from a place of self-assurance and mutual respect. This ability to express herself confidently, without compromising her values or dismissing the needs of others, makes her presence compelling and trustworthy. Her words carry weight because they are grounded in truth, and through them, she creates relationships and opportunities that align with her highest self. 5. Energy protection. A high-value woman understands that her energy is among her most valuable assets, a finite resource that must be guarded and directed with intention. In a world that constantly demands attention, energy protection becomes an act of self-preservation and wisdom. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of apathy, not in the sense of indifference, but as the ability to remain unaffected by things outside of one's control. A high-value woman embraces this teaching, consciously choosing where to invest her energy and recognizing that peace of mind is cultivated through selective focus. Every relationship, task, and environment influences her energy, either nourishing or depleting it. She remains vigilant over these influences, setting firm boundaries to ensure her vitality is not drained by negativity, meaningless obligations, or toxic relationships. Protecting her energy means discerning between what is essential and what merely distracts. She practices saying no with grace, understanding that declining commitments that misalign with her values is not selfish but necessary for her well-being and personal growth. The practice of energy protection extends beyond avoiding negativity. It also involves creating intentional spaces for rest and renewal. A high-value woman knows that rest is not a luxury but a vital part of living with purpose. Inspired by Stoic discipline, she establishes routines that restore her mental, emotional, and physical strength, whether through time in nature, mindfulness practices, or moments of solitude. These rituals ground her, allowing her to recharge and return to her endeavors with clarity and intention. However, energy protection is not about building walls or isolating oneself from the world. It is about cultivating discernment, knowing where to pour her energy and when to pull back. A high-value woman recognizes that some situations require emotional engagement, while others call for detachment. In the same way that she carefully selects what thoughts to entertain, she chooses where her attention flows, ensuring that her energy is directed toward what truly matters: her goals, growth, and meaningful relationships. She takes inventory of the people and activities that consume her energy. If a relationship constantly demands more than it gives, or if certain commitments no longer align with her purpose, she has the courage to let them go. Like a gardener pruning away dead branches, she removes what no longer serves her highest good, creating space for new opportunities and personal evolution. This ability to release without guilt reflects her mastery over her emotional world, a reminder that peace is not found in attachment but in intentional detachment. A key aspect of energy protection is recognizing that self-care is not just a reactive measure but a proactive practice. A high-value woman doesn't wait until burnout to reclaim her energy. She integrates moments of stillness and reflection into her daily life. By tending to her inner world, she ensures that her external actions remain purposeful and aligned with her values. This balance between productivity and renewal allows her to show up fully for herself and others, free from the resentment that comes from overextending. Ultimately, a high-value woman treats her energy as a sacred resource, something to be directed toward growth, connection, and fulfillment. She does not allow the world to dictate where her focus should go. Instead, she takes full ownership of her attention, investing it wisely and without regret. By mastering the art of energy protection, she preserves her peace, sharpens her purpose, and cultivates a life that reflects her deepest aspirations. 6. Curating your inner circle. A high-value woman understands that the people she surrounds herself with are not mere companions, but mirrors of her journey toward personal growth and fulfillment. Her inner circle is cultivated with care and intentionality, for she knows that the company she keeps profoundly shapes her thoughts, behaviors, and future. In the same way Stoicism teaches us to curate our thoughts with wisdom and virtue, she curates her relationships to reflect her highest values and aspirations. A high-value woman prioritizes quality over quantity, choosing to align herself with those who elevate her and share her commitment to self-improvement. The Stoics believe that we are powerfully influenced by those with whom we spend the most time, and a high-value woman takes this lesson to heart. She seeks out relationships built on trust, respect, and mutual growth, where both parties inspire, challenge, and encourage one another to become the best versions of themselves. For her, friendships are not based on convenience or superficial enjoyment, but on a shared vision of progress and integrity. Every interaction within her circle serves a purpose, contributing to her emotional well-being, personal development, and long-term goals. At the same time, she exercises discernment by recognizing the subtle impact of toxic or unaligned relationships. Just as a gardener prunes unhealthy branches to allow for new growth, she removes connections that drain her energy, undermine her confidence, or hinder her progress. This process is not done out of coldness, but out of respect for her emotional and mental boundaries. A high-value woman knows that protecting her inner peace requires intentional detachment from relationships that no longer align with her values or vision. She does not cling to connections out of fear or habit, but releases them gracefully, creating space for more meaningful relationships to flourish. Her inner circle is a place where authenticity thrives. The individuals she invites into this sacred space do not compete with her success or question her worth, but celebrate her growth without envy. They offer honest feedback when necessary and provide unwavering support in moments of challenge. In turn, she reciprocates these qualities, contributing to a dynamic of mutual encouragement and trust. These relationships are not static but evolve as each person continues to grow, ensuring that the connection remains vibrant and aligned with their highest potential. However, curating an inner circle does not mean surrounding herself with perfect individuals. A high-value woman understands that meaningful relationships require patience, effort, and forgiveness. She invests in those who share her commitment to personal growth, offering guidance and support when needed, knowing that as she lifts others, they will in turn lift her. Yet she also recognizes when a relationship has run its course, and she possesses the courage to walk away when it no longer nurtures her spirit or aligns with her purpose. To cultivate such an inner circle, a high-value woman regularly reflects on the relationships in her life, asking herself, do the people around me reflect the person I am becoming? This question serves as a compass, guiding her toward relationships that inspire, uplift, and align with her evolving journey. By choosing her companions wisely, she ensures that her inner circle becomes a sanctuary, a space where energy flows freely, wisdom is shared, and growth is celebrated collectively. With this intentional curation, she remains focused on her path, supported by individuals who challenge her to reach new heights while providing the space to recharge when needed. 7. Financial prosperity. For a high-value woman, financial prosperity is not merely about accumulating wealth. It is about cultivating independence, freedom, and empowerment. Money, viewed through the lens of Stoic philosophy, is not an end in itself, but a tool that enables one to live according to personal values and purpose. A high-value woman understands that when she takes control of her financial well-being, she also gains the ability to shape her life on her terms. She avoids the pitfalls of dependency and scarcity, building a foundation of stability that allows her to pursue meaningful goals without compromise or fear. Inspired by the Stoic ideal of autarkia, self-sufficiency, she recognizes the importance of taking full responsibility for her financial future. She approaches money not with greed, but with discipline, treating it as a resource to be managed wisely. A high-value woman develops a healthy relationship with money, rejecting both reckless indulgence and anxious hoarding. Her financial decisions are guided by foresight and intentionality, reflecting her long-term vision for a life of growth and contribution. Whether budgeting carefully, investing thoughtfully, or saving for the future, she ensures that her financial practices align with her deeper values. A crucial element of financial prosperity is shifting away from a mindset of scarcity. A high-value woman does not view money as something to be feared or fought for, but as a resource that flows in proportion to her efforts and strategic thinking. She cultivates an abundance mindset, believing that prosperity is a reflection of the value she brings to the world. This shift in thinking empowers her to see opportunities where others might see limitations, and it enables her to pursue success without guilt or hesitation. Her financial independence also grants her the freedom to make bold decisions. A high-value woman is not trapped by toxic environments, unfulfilling jobs, or unhealthy relationships out of financial necessity. She knows that wealth is not just about comfort, but about having the autonomy to walk away from situations that no longer serve her highest self. This ability to choose freely reflects her inner power, the knowledge that her worth is not tied to external circumstances, but to her ability to create a life aligned with her values and aspirations. Building financial prosperity requires intentional effort and strategic planning. A high-value woman actively seeks out opportunities to grow her income, whether through career advancement, side ventures, or investments. She embraces calculated risks that align with her goals, understanding that true security comes from diversification and adaptability. Yet, she also balances ambition with wisdom, avoiding reckless pursuits that could jeopardize her long-term stability. Her approach to wealth reflects a calm confidence, grounded in both reason and foresight. Ultimately, financial prosperity is not just a matter of numbers, but a reflection of inner discipline and responsibility. A high-value woman views her financial decisions as expressions of self-respect, recognizing that managing her resources with care is a way of honoring her future self. Through financial independence, she creates a life where she can pursue her passions, support her loved ones, and contribute meaningfully to the world around her. This freedom allows her to live without compromise, fully aligned with her values, and empowered to shape a future that reflects her highest potential. 8. Non-Negotiable Standards. At the heart of a high-value woman's life lies her unwavering commitment to non-negotiable standards, principles rooted in self-respect, integrity, and personal growth. These standards serve as the compass that guides her decisions, relationships, and actions. In a world that often encourages compromise for the sake of convenience, a high-value woman remains steadfast in her values, understanding that to live meaningfully, she must first define and honor what is essential to her well-being and purpose. For her, these non-negotiable standards are not mere preferences but the foundation of a life lived with clarity and intention. Inspired by Stoic philosophy, she recognizes that true strength lies in maintaining alignment with one's principles, even in the face of external pressure or temptation. A high-value woman does not lower her standards to avoid discomfort or gain approval. Instead, she holds fast to her values, knowing that compromising her principles would erode her sense of self. She understands that every choice she makes reflects her commitment to personal growth, and she is willing to walk away from relationships, opportunities, or environments that do not align with her standards, even if doing so requires courage and sacrifice. Setting non-negotiable standards is an act of self-love, a declaration that she values herself enough to demand the best from life. These standards are not rigid rules imposed on others, but clear boundaries that protect her peace and foster her development. A high-value woman knows that relationships must align with her principles of mutual respect, honesty, and integrity. If a connection fails to meet these criteria, she does not linger in hopes of change, but moves forward with grace, trusting that her standards will attract relationships that support her growth rather than hinder it. However, non-negotiable standards are not only applied to others, they are commitments she makes to herself. A high-value woman holds herself accountable to the same principles she expects from others. She does not demand integrity, kindness, or discipline from those around her without first embodying these traits in her own life. This self-discipline reflects the Stoic ideal of living according to virtue, a continuous effort to align one's actions with one's highest values. She embraces the challenge of self-mastery, knowing that personal integrity is the foundation upon which all meaningful growth is built. Non-negotiable standards also serve as a filter, allowing her to focus her energy on what truly matters. A high-value woman does not waste time on situations that fall below her expectations. She recognizes that the things and people she invites into her life must elevate her journey, not distract from it. By holding firm to her boundaries, she ensures that her life remains aligned with her purpose and values, creating a sense of clarity and direction that simplifies decision-making. This clarity empowers her to move through life with quiet confidence, free from doubt or regret. To cultivate these non-negotiable standards, a high-value woman reflects deeply on what she values most, whether it be honesty, emotional stability, or financial independence. Once defined, she commits to upholding these principles without apology. Her unwavering commitment to her standards sends a powerful message to herself and the world, that she knows her worth and will not settle for less. Through this discipline, she creates space for meaningful opportunities and authentic relationships to enter her life, aligning her path with her deepest aspirations and highest potential. 9. Integration of masculine and feminine energies. A high-value woman is a master of balance, seamlessly integrating her masculine and feminine energies to create harmony within herself and in her interactions with the world. While society often encourages people to choose between strength and sensitivity, action and reflection, the truth lies in learning to embrace both energies as complementary forces. In Stoic philosophy, living well requires equilibrium, a balance between logic and emotion, discipline and grace. A high-value woman understands this interplay and applies it in her life, using both masculine decisiveness and feminine intuition to navigate challenges and opportunities with wisdom. Her masculine energy is expressed through her assertiveness, focus, and ability to take decisive action when needed. This energy gives her the discipline to set goals, the strength to pursue them, and the resilience to remain grounded in the face of obstacles. In moments that call for clarity and courage, she steps into this power without hesitation. She makes tough decisions, takes responsibility for her actions, and moves forward with confidence, embodying the Stoic principle of rational control over circumstances. Yet, she understands that power is not force. It is the ability to act decisively while remaining aligned with her values. At the same time, her feminine energy is a wellspring of empathy, creativity, and emotional intelligence. This energy allows her to nurture relationships, embrace vulnerability, and listen deeply to herself and others. In situations that require reflection and intuition, she softens, trusts the flow of life, and responds with compassion. Through her feminine energy, she cultivates meaningful connections and fosters environments where trust and understanding can flourish. Just as Stoicism teaches the wisdom of accepting what we cannot control, she knows when to let go, surrender, and move with grace through uncertainty. The key to integrating these energies lies in self-awareness. A high-value woman understands when to activate her masculine energy to drive forward, and when to lean into her feminine energy to nurture herself and those around her. She avoids the extremes of rigidity or passivity, instead embracing flexibility in her responses to life. She knows that some situations call for action and structure, while others require stillness and intuition. This dynamic balance allows her to remain centered, adapting fluidly to life's complexities without losing her sense of self. This integration of energies reflects not only her mastery of self, but also her ability to connect deeply with the world around her. A high-value woman does not compartmentalize strength and vulnerability, ambition and empathy, or logic and emotion. Instead, she moves fluidly between them, embodying both the boldness of leadership and the tenderness of connection. This duality makes her presence magnetic, strong yet approachable, powerful yet compassionate. She commands respect through her actions while earning trust through her kindness. To cultivate this balance, a high-value woman reflects on which energy she tends to over-rely on. If she finds herself constantly pushing without pause, she practices softening into her feminine energy, allowing space for rest and renewal. Conversely, if she feels stuck waiting for things to change, she taps into her masculine energy to take deliberate action. This process of self-reflection allows her to remain aligned with her highest self, making intentional choices from a place of wholeness. Ultimately, the integration of masculine and feminine energies is a practice of living authentically and harmoniously. By embodying both energies, a high-value woman lives a life that is not only effective but also meaningful. Her actions are guided by wisdom, and her relationships are nurtured with empathy, creating a life that reflects both her strength and her grace. Through this balance, she becomes a source of stability and inspiration, someone who can lead with conviction while embracing the beauty of vulnerability. This harmonious integration allows her to thrive, living fully as the woman she was always meant to be. 10. Holistic self-care. Holistic self-care is the foundation upon which a high-value woman builds a life of balance, purpose, and fulfillment. It is more than occasional indulgence. It is the intentional practice of nurturing every part of her being: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Inspired by the Stoic pursuit of harmony within oneself, she understands that self-care is essential not only for personal well-being, but also for living with integrity and achieving her highest potential. For a high-value woman, self-care is not selfish. It is an act of respect toward the vessel that carries her through life's challenges and opportunities. Her physical self-care is grounded in honoring her body's capabilities and needs. She recognizes that physical health is not just about appearance, but about sustaining the energy and strength required to fulfill her purpose. Through mindful movement, whether exercise, yoga, or walks in nature, she stays connected with her body, appreciating it for what it allows her to achieve. She nourishes herself with wholesome foods that fuel both her body and mind, and she prioritizes restful sleep, knowing that recovery is vital to remaining focused and productive. Physical care is not about perfection, but about creating a lifestyle that reflects self-discipline and respect for her well-being. However, true self-care extends beyond the physical. A high-value woman practices mental and emotional care with equal diligence, recognizing that clarity of mind is essential to navigating life with wisdom and purpose. In a world filled with distractions, she makes space for stillness and reflection, whether through journaling, meditation, or moments of silence. Inspired by Stoic mindfulness, she takes time to clear her mind of unnecessary worries and return to the present moment. This practice strengthens her ability to remain composed and focused, even in the face of life's uncertainties, allowing her to act from reason rather than impulse. Emotional self-care involves staying attuned to her feelings without becoming controlled by them. A high-value woman understands that emotional health requires both vulnerability and strength. She allows herself to feel deeply, processing emotions with honesty and courage. Whether through conversations with trusted friends or time spent in personal reflection, she ensures that no emotional burden is left unaddressed. By acknowledging her feelings rather than suppressing them, she creates emotional resilience, the ability to experience life fully while remaining grounded in inner stability. Spiritual self-care offers her a deeper sense of purpose and direction. Whether through prayer, meditation, or moments of awe in nature, she nurtures her connection to something greater than herself. Inspired by Stoic acceptance of life's impermanence, she cultivates a spirit of gratitude and grace, finding peace in surrendering what lies beyond her control. This spiritual connection provides her with an inner well of strength, guiding her through challenges with wisdom and trust. For a high-value woman, self-care is not a luxury but a way of life, an ongoing commitment to showing up for herself daily, even in small ways. Each act of care becomes a reminder that she is worthy of attention and compassion. She does not wait for exhaustion to force rest or for crisis to inspire reflection. Instead, she integrates self-care into her routine, creating space for renewal and growth. This continuous investment in her well-being allows her to give to others from a place of abundance rather than depletion, ensuring that she remains both present and purposeful in all areas of life. Holistic self-care is the foundation that supports everything she seeks to accomplish. Through the intentional care of her body, mind, emotions, and spirit, a high-value woman cultivates the resilience needed to navigate life with grace and strength. She becomes a beacon of vitality and wisdom, inspiring others by embodying the harmony she has created within herself. In the end, her self-care practices not only nurture her own life but also ripple outward, empowering her to engage with the world authentically, generously, and fully aligned with her highest self. Conclusion. The journey to becoming a high-value woman is not a destination but a lifelong process of growth, reflection, and intentional living. It is about embracing the fullness of who you are and aligning your actions with your highest values. Inspired by the ancient wisdom of Stoicism, this path challenges you to cultivate inner peace, mastery, and resilience in the face of life's uncertainties. Through every decision and habit, whether developing emotional intelligence, setting boundaries, or curating meaningful relationships, you move closer to becoming the woman you were always meant to be. This transformation is not immediate, nor is it always easy. True growth requires patience, self-compassion, and the courage to confront your fears and limitations. Along the way, you will discover that the pursuit of excellence is not about striving for perfection, but about committing to small, meaningful changes every day. With each step, you become more grounded, more aware, and more empowered. The challenges you once feared will no longer hold the same weight, and the relationships and opportunities that align with your values will begin to flow naturally into your life. The beauty of this journey lies in the realization that you no longer need to seek validation from the outside world. As you elevate yourself, you will attract abundance, peace, and fulfillment, not by force, but by becoming a reflection of the life you wish to live. This journey equips you to engage with the world from a place of authenticity and strength, inspiring those around you to do the same. The high-value woman is not defined by trends or external markers of success, but by the quiet power of her integrity, the grace in her presence, and the wisdom she embodies. If you feel called to walk this path toward personal mastery, fulfillment, and meaningful connection, we invite you to take the next step with us. Join our community of like-minded individuals committed to living with purpose and practicing the principles that foster lasting transformation. Each habit, each decision, and each moment of reflection brings you closer to becoming the best version of yourself. Subscribe to our channel today and take your journey to the next level. Together, we will explore the ancient wisdom and modern practices that empower us to live fully and intentionally. Growth is always possible, and every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. The world needs more women who understand their worth and live with purpose. Begin today. Embrace the woman you are becoming, and let's walk this path toward a more empowered, intentional life together.